G'day everyone, Rach here from Inky Planners. Welcome to a chat about my ink, fountain pen ink use for 2024. I had 5 squares left, actually 6 squares left to fill in on my Diamine Inkvent from last year, 2023. I had planned to talk and do, but that failed spectacularly. I can't talk and do. So I've just quickly swatched the last 6 and then I will just talk freely. So what are my plans for 2024? Well, obviously I need to be using some ink. I realised actually I should have kept 6 of these. I only had 5 left. I have filled 200 of these ink swatch cards, and that is not everything, because when I first made my ink swatch book, I had run out of those index cards from the colouring, and some of the purple, grey, brown and black have not actually been swatched on here. Some of the original ones, some of the newer ones have. So I have way too much ink. So I need to be using some of this ink. And what and how, I do not know. Kind of. So my first thing for 2024 is actually, and I need a piece of this paper here. How are we going? Are we looking like we're drying enough? Can we see some of the shimmer coming through as I move the book? Right, so that's just a last look at the 2023 Diamine ink vent, and this is in, I'm using a 2024 Hobonichi Day Free for my ink journal this year, A5 size. So you get a December monthly in the 2020, in the previous, you get the previous December for the year that the book is. So that's why I put this year's, last Christmas, blimey Rachel, ink vent in here. So my plan going forward is to not have as many pens inked so that I can actually use them up. So what I've got currently, and I've got piles everywhere. So what page are we going to open to? Not the right page. Last August I did a currently inked, and I am still, just because of the way things were working out, I am still working my way through these inks, so I'm inking too many pens. So that's my first thing, and it's just made me think, do I know what no, I think that was finished. So as of the beginning of January, I still had 4 pens to get through, and in fact I finished the TWSBI with the Alt Goldgren in actually on the 1st of January in the end. I thought it would last a bit longer, but I used it that day for stuff and finished it. So I've still got 3 pens that I've got to finish, and I am not, first of all, filling anything else up, no matter how much I like these first colours of the ink vent. I love Early Dusk and Cashmere Rose. I am not filling anything else up until I have finished these 3 pens. So that's the first thing. So the plan is that at the start of every week I will pick a colour, I will swatch it on the Monday of the relevant week. I will put the brand, I will put the name of the ink, I will put the pen that I'm using, the date that I filled it, the date that I finished it, and my thoughts. That is how I'm going to use this. So that means that I should only ever really have 4, maybe 5 pens filled at any one time. Where is everything? and I will also have this Pilot Kakuno, which has black ink in it. It's a permanent fixture, so that's not going to get included on here, but it is all the black that you see pretty much. So that's the first thing, and I still have so these are the 3 that are still going on. I've got 2 Platinum Preppies and the Kaweco Sport. Is it a Sport? Yes. I probably won't ever buy another one of these. It's perfectly fine to write with. I'm quite happy with it, but it doesn't wow me. I don't see the need to have lots like you see people have on Instagram. We'll get to that with a different pen in a moment. The Platinum Preppy, this one in particular, I am finding, and I don't know if it'll do it. No. What I am finding now is when I'm going to pull the cap off to use it, I'm actually pulling this bottom cover off. So this probably is on the verge of being retired. This pink one is actually going fine. So this isn't a fine nib, this is an extra nib. Now I can feel this has already come loose. So I think the threads on this are a bit sus now. You know, it's a cheap pen. I don't expect it to last forever and a day. So, but I want to, I've still got, don't think I can tell in this light. There is still quite a bit of ink. That's the next thing that I've learned, is I've got to stop putting so much ink in. And that's one of the things that's taking a long time just to get through, because I just don't write in fountain pen day in and day out. I've got about, I don't know if it's going to show up, about that, oh, where is the camera? About that much ink left in this cartridge. And this is a really nice blue from Herbin. So less pens inked, less ink in the pens is the first thing. I am aiming to pretty much retire the Jen Howes. I do need to just go through. This was my original one, and I don't think there is a problem with that, so I may still keep that out. I need to test these other ones out again, because I was having a variety of issues, leakages, things like that. I need to just go through and see what's working fine and what isn't, and then making a call on it. I might rethink that one, because that's the original older one than these 3, and I don't think there is a problem with this one at all anyway. I think these should all be empty. Yeah, it's empty at the moment. So I'll move that out of the way. I don't need that. So I think back in August I inked up 6, and I'm still going on 3 of them, so that tells you something. What I have decided to do, as well as just general everyday writing use, and I have been doing that with my inks, I have been doing something in my book journal. So I have a flip through of my book journal on my reading channel, but what I am doing to use up my ink and try it out and all of that malarkey is, oh, I have such a bad setup at the moment. I have been writing out the book blurb for each book I read, the first sentence that is in the book, and then any thoughts that I might have about the book. So that's helped use up a bit of ink. So I've got several pages already written, various, just working between all 3 pens basically. So that's one of the longer writing things that I have to do at the moment with that. otherwise it's just general use, and I think that's why I need to have less pens and I need to have less ink in them. I have got a new acrylic drawer that I'm keeping my pens in. So at the moment I've got everything other than the Genhaus in here. I have a new Pilot Kakuno, and I believe this is a medium nib. I don't think I can see it from here. I'm pretty sure I brought it as a medium nib just to trial and error shimmers and things like that before I put them through some of the better pens that I've got. So at the moment I've got, that's a Lamy. I've got 4 Lamys, 2 TWSBIs. That's another Kaweco Perkio or something like that. And the Pilot Kakuno. I need to just get a bit of felt or something to put at the bottom of this drawer so they're not rattling around. And I've got, finally, if I can put my hands on a ink vial, a toothbrush holder that holds your ink vial. So that's handy and useful. So that just fits in there nicely too. The other thing that I'm going to do, as far as talking about not buying another Kaweco Sport, because yeah, they just don't, it doesn't wow me. The TWSBIs, however, do, and I am tempted over a period of a couple of years, not a couple of weeks, to get a TWSBI in each colour. We'll see. We'll just see. Given that I've got a blue Lamy and I've got a pink Lamy, maybe I don't need to be quite so extravagant, but we'll just see. If I'm adding to my pens, it will probably be a TWSBI at this point in time. I'm not prepared to spend any money on big ticket pens without the ability to actually try them. It's not worth the spendage of money without trying things, as far as I'm concerned, like that. So I won't ever probably spend more than the cost of a TWSBI or a Lamy at this point in time, and that's fine by me. I'm happy with that. I don't need to go overboard. I'll just put those back away. The other thing that I'm going to look to do, so I will work on that at the back of the book. A day free gives you all the monthly calendars and then just a whole load of blank pages. So I've got a to-do list which I've sort of marked with a pen. But the other thing that I plan on doing at the back of the book, I saw some videos on Instagram that sparked my interest, and I went looking. Oh, and I think I watched a guy setting up one of his planners and he used the nibs as well, and I'm like, ooh, what's that? I want one. So I have brought myself a B series calligraphy nib set. So I've got the holder and I've got, 6 nibs in different sizes. And I also brought a secondary set of speedball nibs because I already had the holder. I just added to the package. So there's 2 A nibs, 5 B nibs and 3 C nibs in here. But these are the ones that sparked my interest. So it's my intention to learn how to use those this year. So I'm just currently looking for a quote or something that I can use as my practice. It's something that I can just keep writing over and over again as I practice using that. And I'm probably going to share that that journey on here. We'll see how we go. And then as far as buying ink samples, well, I do have an order on the way, but I'm going to try very hard to only buy some samples and not as many as I have been. I think there are 12 coming, and whereas in the past you might see 20. I'm going to just try and make a sample order quarterly, and just not worry about FOMO. And there's a new Ferris wheel press ink and it's very pretty and I want it now. I'm just going to wait. Apparently Ferris wheel press has a distributing or plant or something in Australia, so I'm not going to lose out. I'm just got to rein it in. I've got to use what I've got. I need to have a whole load of empty vials by the end of the year. So that is my plan. I don't think I have missed anything out. What have we got over here that needs to be talked about? Nothing. I've still got my swatch book and I will continue to add to my swatch book. So what I did with the Inkvent is I actually added it straight into the book rather than work on in the new book for this year. I just added it into the ink family, and I also added it, I thought it might be quite interesting. I have got a Hobonichi 5-year, so I also added a swatch in there as well, so it'll be quite interesting to see the 5 years of swatches, because am I now committing to 5 years of Inkvent? Quite possibly, because I actually really like it. So there we go. I think that is my ink information, because I made no notes. Less pens inked, less ink in the pen, learning to use the B series calligraphy nibs, retiring some of the cheaper pens, perhaps maybe adding some TWSBIs, and just using some ink. That is my plan. So one last look at last year, 2023's Diamine Inkvent. You will see some of these colours. I'm a big fan of the first three. There actually isn't very many I don't like in here. I'm not a fan of the Cinnabon, which is this feathering one. It's a shame that the Sweet Dreams has feathered so badly. I don't know how you stop things from feathering. I'd be reluctant to put either of them in a pen. I think Weeping Willow probably is a wee bit too light. I don't know that I would use it. But otherwise, I actually really like most of the rest of it. So it's been a good year. Really like Sugar Snap as well at the bottom. So that is my journey. The next inky video will be a haul shortly, because I think it might be delivered today, if not today, tomorrow. So you'll see that in a week or so. Anyway, I shall get going, and I will catch you again in another video very soon. Thanks everyone. Bye for now.